They just moved it.
All right, welcome back, folks. Nobody wrote with me, but I'm all here. Welcome to our April 7th general meeting. And what I'd like to do is let's start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, do we have any new members or guests? We have a new member. Yes, Kathy. Welcome. Any other guests? New members? Well, one's great. We'll take it. All right, I just want to reiterate the way I usually do almost every meeting we have. We're always looking for a volunteer or two to come on in and help us with various things. We have all kinds of opportunities available. Everything from helping to set up this little meeting, it's just setting up tables and chairs. Rob helped out fantastically today to get the audio system and everything working. We need folks on the front desk. We're short at least one person right now. Unfortunately, she had a little accident and then ended up in the hospital. So we've lost her and hope Lita recovers. Let's see, basically the front office desk, they meet and greet people as they come in and check their memberships, renews their memberships, accepts new applications, and basically helps out and finds out what they need. Wow, for support. Anybody brings in a computer that needs to be worked on that we can't do right away. That way we can check it in, and that way we got a little more time. When things are a little slower, we can kind of look at it a little closer. But they help check those in. Usually it's whoever's the technician on is helping somebody else at the time. Anything else? Oh, in-office technical help. If anybody has some familiar with Windows, that our group is a members helping group members. Nobody's paid, that's for sure. So if you just want to come in and help people out, just come on in, and we'll try to work a schedule out for you so you can help out. Also, it's usually people need help with antivirus software and Windows upgrades, and just keeping their operating systems up and running. Also, we do a lot of refurbishing and computer tear down around the back. Vanessa's helped out with that a lot. So that's something that you're interested in, just the hardware aspect, that you want to help tear computers out. And what we do is recycle as much as we can. And if we can recover stuff and put it back out to students, vets, or whatever, we'll do that. And lastly, if you're interested in doing a little instruction classes, you can pick the topic. Typically anything technology-wise, everybody likes to do it. So if you like to stand up in front and do a little presentation, that'd be great. Our classes right now, we probably only have, Lydia does a class on maintenance and backup. And right now I'm doing one just in general, it's called a Windows Forum. But if you have some time, it'd be certainly great if you want to come in and do a little presentation or whatever. We'll definitely make time for you to do that. And if you want to present during a meeting like today, we're still looking for presenters for the rest of the year. Just if you would like to do it, you can always shoot me an email or just stop by and say hello, and we'll figure out a time for you. All right, how many people have gone to our new website? www.cccgc.info.
Good job.
Recommend it. Yeah.
Good job.
It's a nice, I think it really came out nice. It's quite the effort by the group. Is it perfect? No. There are bugs. This is software, so you're always gonna find a bug or two. We tried to ring it out the best we could. And actually, last week, we took another look at our application process that you can fill it online. The PDF form is a fillable form now, which so instead of writing out, you can actually type in the information and print it out. And that makes it a lot easier on the folks who input that information in the database. And the option is you can actually donate online pretty soon. We're joined up with a company called Stripe that takes credit cards. If you feel comfortable with using a credit card online, you can donate to the club if you want, or you can renew your membership online using Stripe. There is a convenience charge. Don't get me wrong. It's about $1.61, I think, to do it online. But considering the cost of a stamp is what these days, 74, 75 cents, something like that. And or gas to come down and visit us to fill out.
It takes 2 minutes.
You know, it's not a bad deal. But I do highly recommend it. The website is, I think, a really nice addition. It's looking pretty good.
Good job.
Oh, I'm sorry, I jumped ahead. No drawings yet.
Thought that was a short program.
And our presenter tonight is Jim Austin. I don't know if you've seen Jim Austin. If you've been to any events around Punta Gorda and stuff, you'll see Jim around taking pictures. But unfortunately, he's got a couple of mine. He won't give me back. So anyway, he's done a heck of a job with various groups in the area. And he's been nice enough to come over and give us some little tips and stuff on making mindful smartphone photos. So Jim.
Well, Mark, they were so good, I'm gonna hang on to them, those pictures. So I'm happy to be back with you. My name is Jim Austin. And today we're gonna talk about better pictures of your grandchildren and your travel with the best camera in the world. How many of you have an iPhone?
Oh.
All right, how many of you have an Android? Okay. Welcome all you Android folks. And how many of you have a Google Pixel or some other beautiful camera? Fantastic. I'm the photographer for the honor flight. We leave tomorrow at 4 a.m. How many of you have served our country? Can we have a hands for all the veterans in it? Thank you for your service. One of our honor flights had 33 women aboard. Tomorrow, we have 1 World War II veteran, 11 Korean veterans, and most of our flight is for your colleagues who served in Vietnam. So I want to thank you, and I'm delighted to be here with you today. So Mark's going to run the visuals here. 2 things to think about. I like to think about when you're out making photographs with the best camera that you have right here in your pocket. I like to think about vision, and I like to think about craft. So what is a smartphone? A smartphone is right there with you. It's your cell phone camera. You're out taking pictures of your travels, and today we're going to talk about some ideas about how to think before you press the shutter. Any questions before we get going? Can you hear me back? All right, can you hear me back now? Okay, thank you. So to hone your craft, the best thing you can do is to do something from your heart. Something you love. If it's your bird in your backyard, if it's your granddaughter. That's where your passion is, and those are the best pictures you can make, right from your direct experience. Next slide, please. So, craft, vision, we're going to start by talking about values. We'll take some of your questions and we'll get into some tips. And I believe I have about 45 minutes. Great, next slide. Next slide. In our interactions, in our service to our country, in our businesses, in our ideas, what are our values? You all are here in Southwest Florida. This is a place, Port Charlotte. I'm in Port Charlotte now, right? Okay, good. This is a place of strong values, right?
Mhm.
Very strong. Family, military, faith. So what are some of the values that I've chosen to share with you today? For taking pictures with your phone. We're going to start with the power of kindness and we're going to end with the value of time. Next slide. So Salty Paws was my home for 20 years. Salty Paws is a sailing catamaran. And on our journeys, we went to as far north as Nova Scotia, as far west as New Orleans, and as far southeast as some of the Bahamian Islands. Have any of you been to Eleuthera, Cat, Nassau? Great.
Sailing.
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 Okay. So this was a group of islands 40 miles from Miami. And this was my home, and this is how we got there. She's a sailboat.
Wow.
So some of these visuals that you're going to see today are from pictures taken with cell phones and regular cameras along the route. You'll see here up at the bow, there's a trampoline, and that's where a lot of the meals were eaten. Kind of like the beach up front of the boat.
Mhm.
So there's no darkroom aboard. So again, the best camera is the one you have with you, which is the cell phone, and the one that hooks into your computer. How many of you are backing up your photos from your cell phone? Fantastic. If you forget all my talk, just go home and back up your photos on your cell phone today. That'll be one of the most valuable things you can do. When we went sailing, I ran into a lot of people who said, well, I was going up to pull my boat up to the dock and my cell phone with all my vacation pictures slipped out into the water and I didn't have it backed up. So please back up your photos.
Don't put them in your pocket if you're on a moving vessel.
That's right. Put it on a lanyard around your neck. Your name, sorry.
Mary.
Mary says, don't put your cell phone in your pocket on a moving vessel. Absolutely. Next slide, please. Okay.
Oops.
How can we be kinder with our photographs? Print them. Share them. I was on Hatchet Bay, Eleuthera, when I met Shauna and her friend, Brianna. I made a picture. I printed it out and went back a year later and handed it to them.
Yeah.
Never underestimate how many people have 7 or more grandchildren. Wow, Gloria does.
11,
Gloria has 11 grandchildren. So, from what ages? From what
10 to
ages?
20,
Fantastic. Are any of them seeing printed pictures?
of course.
Terrific. So make books, print them out, give them out to family members. That's the value of remembering who you love, right? With a print.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Okay. So, next slide. Thank you, Mark. All of you are creative. All of you, each and every one of you does something unique. What are some hobbies in the room that you do? Gonna pick on you two in the back. Anybody have any hobbies? Macrame, quilting,
Gardening.
gardening? Anyone else? Reading and gardening. So whatever path you choose, you're gonna find unique books that I've never read. So tell me about one. You're gonna do some gardening that's unique to you. It's the same with your cell phone photography. Something original. Something no one else has, something only you can see, right? Scrapbooking, absolutely.
How about ugly iguana?
An
Hmm?
iguana?
Ugly iguana, yeah.
An ugly iguana, perfect.
Short land.
Perfect subject. Ugly animals make great pictures. Thank you, Larry.
Yeah, ugly they are, the cuter they are.
I'm on a Bahamian island. And I've come in on a dinghy with about 4 other people. And while they're tying up the dinghy, I'm out with my camera. And I see, everybody knows what conch shells are, right? Right? I see conch shells piled up 6 feet, and next to them are lobster heads
Hmm.
piled up 10 feet high. Now, this is an island surrounded by reefs. So there are
Excuse me.
many lobsters. And when you live on an island, you're gonna have tons of lobsters. And you don't really need the heads because there's so many tails, so the heads are discarded. And I thought, what a great ugly animal to photograph. I don't know if that's gonna play or not. I don't know if we're hooked up. If it doesn't, it's
There you go.
so what I did was originate the hive. And the story here is this is the princess. This is the queen. These are characters in the hive. And what I did was I took close-ups of these lobsters and then flipped the picture so that it matches to make it symmetrical. And then I expanded it and added color in the middle and added black and white around the edges. I'm gonna pass that around. That's the printed book.
Hmm.
So if you see an ugly iguana, yes.
I can't get rid of it.
Hmm.
I gave 3 of them a ride to the woods, and different species come back and I can't get rid of them.
Larry said that these iguanas are the magical returning iguanas. So there's a great photo subject. Each time they return, you have a new photo.
Striped kind.
Next slide, please. So far, something novel, something only you can see. And another value that works well, that Larry just hinted at, is things that return to you. How many of you are going north this year? Returning to someplace,
Yeah,
okay?
a week.
And I imagine there's something very like spiritual there. So going back again and again is a great way to use your smartphone to create a picture.
I do cemeteries.
The first picture I took of this gentleman in the Bahamas was on a 40-knot wind, and he had just been fishing. He was tired, and the picture was not good. It wasn't a good portrait of him. I had the chance to go back a year later. And he just come out of his home and he just happened to do this. I said, would you please do that again? So he put his hands up and that made the portrait. Anything that you can return to, spiritually, emotionally, maybe it's just an emotion you have. If you find yourself blissful or sad, those are impetus for making photos with your cell phone. Any questions so far? You'll find that this is more talk about the vision and the craft today. If you have some technical issues about the cell phone, I may not be able to answer, but we have some great sharing that we can do to answer from each other today. So what's the fourth value? Next slide. My grandmother lived to be 100 and she spoke German and she taught me how to wash dishes. She lived in Chicago, Illinois, and she taught me the complexity of the German mind. This is a German camera. Takes beautiful pictures, but it has 1,300 moving parts. To load it takes about 15 minutes. Be grateful that you have an iPhone and a Google Pixel. You are way ahead of where we were. This one sits on the shelf. I occasionally bring it out to take 15 minutes to load it with film. I think that's a pretty evident point. The smoother you can set up your camera in your cell phone, maybe the side button to take a picture, there'll be less fumbling, and in your travels, you'll get pictures more smoothly. So set up that button so you can have your camera right on the home page of your phone, on the front page, and set up that button so you can take a picture. There'll be less fumbling. Also lightweight. This thing is about 20 times as heavy as your cell phone. The other nice thing to do is to look for a slim camera for your travels. Keep your phone for your phone and have a slim camera to travel with. Next slide. Any questions?
I've got Android, I got one of those smart ones. I'm not smart enough to use it, but they download on Google Chrome, Google Photo. How in the heck do I get to print my Google photo other than one big one at a time? Because I scrapbook, I put 6, 4, 6, 8 on one page. How do you do that?
So the question is, if you're on a Google photo, how do you print a photo that's smaller than an 8x10?
Yeah.
Like a 4x6?
And with a whole bunch of them on one page.
Do a collage.
Okay, there is an app that makes collages.
Right. Yeah. I didn't know that.
You're on an iPhone, did you say? Or no,
Android.
Android.
You're on Android. You can go to the Play Store, PLAY, and pull down a collage maker
A what?
app, a collage maker app. COLLAGE, collage maker. There'll be a bunch of them, right? There's always a bunch of apps to look forward to. How do you know which one is good? The one that has the most downloads and the highest rating. And that will let you put a number of pictures into a collage.
Cause I know I did the one and my pictures, I get like 4 or 5 pictures on there. And my 8x10 sheet, that must be wasted on the bottom. Couldn't do that, and that's why I was wondering.
Right. We waste a lot of paper when we print. That's one of the drawbacks.
40 albums with pictures.
Yeah. Do you have a paper cutter?
Yeah. I got
Okay.
everything with for scrapbooking, I've got it.
Okay. The other thing you can do if you want to break out of the collage is you can just send the pictures from your phone to a printer like Shutterfly or something like that, and they will print 2.5 by 3.5s for you.
Yeah,
So you could do an online
but
printer.
then you pay for Shutterfly.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. I had a program, thanks to the Geek Squad, they screwed it up for me, and I've never been able to get it back. And I used to be able to do 4 perfect pictures on one 8 by 10. And then I could cut them any way I wanted to and put them in my scrapbook.
The other thing you might consider is a Photoshop Elements. Photoshop Elements has templates for even 4 by 5 pictures on an 8 by 10. That's Photoshop Elements, ELEMENTS. Yes.
I have an alternative to Photoshop Elements for all of those who would be interested. And it's free and it's online and it's called, oh shoot, wait a minute, let me see, what is it called?
Those moments.
I'll look it up. But it's a substitute for Photoshop or Photoshop Elements, and it has all the same functions. It's easier to use, and you can set it up as an app on your desktop.
Yeah.
I don't know what the-
There's
No,
Can-
it's not
there's
Canva.
There's GIMP.
No, it starts with a
There's,
P. It's pick. I'll look it up. I'll look it up.
Thank you. Good thought. She's looking for that app for you. And what was your name, Richard? Okay, Jan raised a good point. Sometimes we have software that lets us do exactly what we want and they get rid of it. But let's bring it back. It was easy. What happened? Any other thoughts or questions from anyone?
Just a thought. Just a
Yes.
thought that Google Pictures has the collage maker already in it, so you don't need a
Right,
app.
Yeah, it does.
it does.
And you can.
You can set it up.
See, you know, how they, you can save it, so.
I guess the thought is to check the app to see if it has different templates for different layouts. There are probably templates to adjust.
Pretty. I mean, you can save it as you have a lot of variety and
Very good. Very good. Thank you. Yes, sir.
A very simple way to do it, if you need a lot of pictures printed, is to transfer it to a disk or whatever.
Computer settings.
Send it to Walgreens or Walmart. They'll print them out for, I think, 12 or 14 cents for picture for as many as you want, or a 2-day process.
Very good. So set that little floppy disk by the door. And remember to take your cell phone and load that little disk with pictures and go print. Go get print happy. Absolutely. What was your name?
Steve,
Steve, thank you, Steve. All right, next slide. We'll come back to it. Value 5. When I teach a class at the Visual Arts Center and at the Historical Park for the Punta Gorda Isles Civic Association, that's pgica.org, and the Visual Arts Center on Maud Street. Most of the dialogue that I have with people comes around simplifying your pictures, simplify your travel pictures. So instead of the whole cathedral, come right up to the door, just get one aspect. Instead of the giant crowd, maybe there's a kid and a dog over at the edge of the crowd. Simplify the composition. Here, I'm on that catamaran bow that we talked about, Salty Paws, and I'm looking straight down with the cell phone camera at a dolphin coming in between the hulls. And I've got 1,000 pictures of dolphins, and this is the one that works because it's simple and because of the light. Next slide. You had software or
The name of that software is Photo P. Photo P, PHOTOPEA. And it'll do everything that Photoshop will do.
PEA.
Photo P.
and it's free.
It is free.
Great, Mary, right?
Mary.
Thank you, Mary. The most powerful warriors are patience and time. When I went back to photograph the guy who was smiling with his hands up, we had about 2 hours together, kind of talk before that picture happened. When we're traveling, the temptation is to be here and then here and then here and to photograph everything. Just photograph your breakfast. When you wake up in the morning, wherever you are traveling, wherever your spiritual center is, wherever you're most relaxed, that's a great time to just enjoy and slow down. The best thing you can do for your smartphone photos is to slow down and take fewer of them. Of the things that are really memorable to you. How do you know what's memorable to you? It's your emotion. It's your feeling, it's your resonance. That guy in the Bahamas resonated with me, the dolphin resonated with me, and this lady with her timepiece, we had a conversation and then she just pulled it out, boom, there's the moment. Okay, questions? Anyone? Yes,
Is it possible to make a time capsule out of the photos that you've had over the years?
yes,
Mhm.
tell me more.
Well, I was thinking, I have a lot of photos of my boyfriend and I and family. So if I could turn that into a time capsule for a scrapbook, would that be possible?
Absolutely.
Google
Do
Photos.
you have a way to print them?
Yes. I would print her out my editor's house.
Fantastic. And you and your boyfriend print lots of them. And what I like to do is to put them up on the wall, someplace in my bedroom or my hallway. So I pass them every day. And then the good ones over a month or two will stand out. So you can tack them to the wall in a place where you pass often. The prints are up on the wall. And then some of them are less interesting. Keep the ones that look good for you after a month or two and put those in your scrapbook. That's a wonderful idea.
Thank you.
Get him involved in it too,
Yep,
right? What's your name?
Vanessa.
Thanks, Vanessa. Anybody else into scrapbooking? Yeah. Great.
Well, one interesting experience I had is, I got the shuttlefly. They gave me an ultimatum. You use something and produce something. I wasn't using a program, so. Anyways, I had some photos of my daughter-in-law and 2 grandbabies. And I utilized those photos and I put them on a coffee pot. Which is like 10 years later, but she loved it, you know. So I'm good with the shuttlefly for a while.
That's a wonderful idea. Thank you, Larry. Shutterfly, you can put images on wood, plastic, cups, metal, refrigerators, your shoes, your hat. Anything you can do to get that photo transformed from your phone into some object will be memorable. Thank you. Time is a created thing. To say I don't have time is like saying I don't want to. Next slide. Next slide. Next slide. Next slide. How many people are using the editor in your iPhone to edit your pictures? Okay.
You mean like photos?
Yeah, when you take a photo in your iPhone and your Google and your Android, there are little built-in editors to make it brighter or more colorful or put a frame on it.
Yeah.
Anybody using editing your photos?
Put it on my computer.
Great, so you're editing on your mainframe. And Gloria raised a nice point. When you put the pictures from your iPhone into your computer, you are also backing them up right away, and it's just really nice workflow. Good for you. So they're safe. One of the nice mobile editors, and you can write this down, is called Snapseed. Snapseed, it looks like this. And it's available on Google Play and Android. Why bother? It gives you brighter, more colorful, framed. And you can put your name on the pictures and then you can immediately back them up and share them with people. It's a very lightweight, free editor, Snapseed. The editors in your phones are good. And by editor, I mean a program like an phone has that comes with your iPhone that is built in, that makes it brighter or that crops it. Snapseed takes that one step further. It's great for portraits. It takes away wrinkles. It takes away my turkey neck. I really like it.
Huh?
Facelift free.
Yeah.
I take the same picture twice, first with my heart and then with my camera. So again, two concepts. Your vision, your best visions are going to be what's emotional for you, what you love, right? What you are good at. Maybe you're an engineer and you've had a patent and you've got a series of pictures of something you invented. Next slide. Is it necessary to plan all of your pictures? Not at all. Is it good to have some planned pictures and some spontaneous serendipitous pictures? Absolutely. Planning is nice, but it's not everything. Some of the best pictures are just going to be given to you without planning. And that's by virtue of, again, taking time. Questions? Am I reaching you guys in the back? Is it loud enough? Okay, good. Any thoughts, any questions? Mark?
One of the things I have a lot of trouble with, is, I'll see something I want to take a picture of, but I always, this person or subject is always in the middle. But I notice like the dolphin picture you have is kind of offset. And I feel like I'm missing a lot of the, what made the picture good was outside the center. Is there any way that keep in mind that you should?
That's a mental thing.
Take a bigger
look through
picture.
it, yeah, get a better picture
crop
just by.
I've said it just a little bit.
That is an excellent idea.
You talking about the selfie stick?
No,
it's-
no.
Subject, if I was taking a picture of you, should I zoom in on you? But then I miss the bigger picture of everything else that's going on. Like, maybe it'd be a much better picture, I had part of the ceiling in or part of the floor or
Take it
whatever.
out and crop it.
Make a better picture.
How do we let our main subject, if it's say you, or let's say a portrait of Larry, how do we let the subject breathe? Well, we could take a panorama. We could take a vertical that's leaving a lot of space above him. But how do you remind yourself to do this? The phi triangle, the golden ratio. If you Google golden ratio in photography, you can get a grid that will fit. And you'll see that the center of that grid spiral is off center. And that's a visual reminder of
Right.
how to set up the composition so it's off center. It's a mathematical ratio of 1 to 1.6. So instead of rule of thirds, where you're following a rule of thirds, it's a little bit off center. And you can put that grid into the phone and use it as a guide to get your subject off center. Does that answer your, is it something? Yeah. Yeah, it's called the divine proportion or the phi, PHI. The Greeks invented it. And it works really well in photographic composition. Other questions?
Make a comment. I used to give away a lot of pictures, but I haven't in a long time because I just share them on the public. But when I did give away pictures, I found that people liked them better when some time went by.
Mhm.
If I gave it to them tomorrow, next day, whatever, they didn't care. It was a year or so later, it brought back that memory.
Good idea.
That's wonderful. What was your name?
Linda.
Thank you, Linda. Anybody agree with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, amen.
I want it both ways.
Say more.
I want it both ways. I want it now and I want it again.
Right. And one way to do that is Gloria's transferring her photos from her iPhone to her computer, so you can make a print and keep them in your shelf. And then when something reminds you of that event or an anniversary or a birth or a death, you know, if we lose someone we love, that's a wonderful time to bring out your best portrait of them also. So whatever that remindful event is, that remindfulness, that's something that you can do with your cell phone photos. Mary?
Another thing that you can do is you can rename your photos on your phone or your computer to an event name or something that's going to remind you of, of that, time. Also, going back to what Vanessa was talking about as far as doing a timeline, if you go into Google Photos, you can select a timeline and it'll automatically, matter of fact, it'll go through a month of photos. It'll tell you what it thinks are the main events of that month. So take a look at the functions on your phone for those.
Got it.
Does anybody have any questions about printing? Is anybody having a hard time printing?
Where in the print?
It's the cost, right? That's a barrier. And I think Steve mentioned both Walmart, CVS, and Shutterfly to bring down the cost 14 cents, 19 cents for a 4x6, something like that. The big cost is time. So taking time to put those images from your phone into that little thumb drive. Other questions?
Well, because in CVS, you don't have to do that, you just put your phone and connect it, they have a machine and you can look it up. So you don't even have to do that.
Thank you. Absolutely. You just have to make time to get in the car with your phone and start printing.
And it will show you exactly how it will be printed and
Yep.
for some reason it doesn't look the way you want it, they like
Yeah.
or they like to do it again.
CVS has a DNP printer. That's the name of their printer. And those photos last a long time. I use the same printer professionally in my portrait work or my commercial work. CVS has a very good printer and it prints very good color. Yes. Somebody, yes, Steve.
I may be wrong, but I think my wife just did this, is that, from the computer, she made a file of the photos that she wanted copied, and she emailed it to Walgreens. There was no time involved, and then when it's done, I believe she had to go and pick them up, obviously, or you could have them sent to you at extra charge.
Same for Shutterfly. You can upload right from your desktop or your phone app. CVS has a phone app, Walmart, Shutterfly, they all have phone apps that you can upload with. Next slide. I set my smartphone to airplane mode when I'm out. Next slide.
Why?
I turn the volume down and I set it to airplane mode so it doesn't ring.
Hmm.
I want to be experiencing the wave. I want to feel the sand. I want to hear the birds. I don't want the phone to take me out of wherever I am.
You can do that without going to airplane mode. I do that all the time. Mine is set that it doesn't ring ever for anybody else. It only rings to me.
Outstanding. Thank you, Mary. Yep. However you do it.
How did you do it?
One more time.
It's in my settings. I can talk to you after the meeting to show you how to do that.
I'm scared of it.
I
never use it.
So our topic today is creating mindful smartphone photos. Our two main points are slow down and work from your own spirit, your own originality. Work from whatever your passion is, and then take lots of photos of that thing. Work that scene. If it's a rabbit that my dog is hunting, okay, that's 20 shots. I'm gonna throw away 19 of them. She's gonna catch the rabbit before I catch the photo. Next slide. If you're having issues with your Google or your iPhone, check your settings. It's a good place to start. Next slide. Next slide. Next slide. I have a Android like many of you. And what's nice about that is the macro setting. I often start there because that simplifies the shot. And you're going to get close. But what you need to do is to make your body a tripod. Elbows in. Holding that camera nice and steady. If you're out here with macro or you're out here with a moving subject, it's going to be blurred. The steadier you can hold that camera with two hands anchored into your body, the better your pictures will be. Not this, but making your body into a tripod.
What's the macro setting?
Macro setting
Getting really into.
on some of the newer phones is in the series where the photo is and the portrait. Not all phones have the macro setting. Not all cameras do.
So if you set it to photo or portrait,
It's to the right of that. It's gonna be over here off center. Okay. If you don't have a macro setting, you can get for $7 on Amazon a little lens that clips on to your iPhone or your Android. And it's, if you Google macro attachment for my phone, you can get a lens to go right over here. I've taped mine on when I travel. Next slide. When I'm teaching, we often go to portrait mode for nature because portrait mode will soften the background. So this is shot in portrait mode instead of photo mode. So if you're going to do one thing new today, just shift your camera from photo and go outdoors after this talk and try a shot on portrait mode if you've never done that. Try a flower or a face, someone you love, portrait mode. It'll give your background a bokeh, which is a fancy Japanese word for blur. And it'll give your photos depth because it'll make the foreground come out. Questions?
I love that.
Anyone want to share anything? How am I doing for time?
What is crowdsource? I got it on, that's crowdsource when I went on there.
Let me come back to that. We're out of time. Just about. Other thoughts? Other questions?
What was the device you said that you wanted to push to your phone in case you don't
Looks like
use
it's
that
finished.
Right.
micro setting?
On Amazon,
That's the photo we had.
you're going to Google, you're going to search for close-up lens attachment.
It's doing this.
Or is that an iPhone?
Yeah.
Close-up macro attachment or close-up attachment for iPhone. It's a little lens and it will clip on the front of your iPhone. I wanted to thank the veterans today. I'm excited to be with a group of women and men tomorrow at 4 o'clock. And if you all aren't doing anything at 9:45 tomorrow night, come on down to the Punta Gorda Airport and give our veterans a beautiful homecoming like they've done before. I want to give Mark and the organizers a hand for inviting me back. Thank you very much. Jim Austin, Jimages.com.
But here.
Yeah.
But thank you, Jim, very much. Oh, by the way, Jim does teach classes over at PGICA. If you want to sign up there, and I don't believe you have to be a member to take classes, right?
So I don't think
Be a member at PGICA and you don't have to be a member at the Google.
There's Art Center, either. Okay. So, that's if you want to continue on your photography, lessons and get some better pictures, that's one option you might want to do. Yes,